We'll now go to the gentleman from Georgia, Mr. Hice, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to begin by saying what I think is the feeling of many in this committee today, just how shameful it is that so many of our witnesses are no longer here. And frankly, the appearances they could care less about our national security and are less concerned about defending our country than they are in either being absent or pleading the Fifth. And as was brought up earlier, they're willing to meet with and talk with others, those who had the potential of prosecuting them. Who knows what possible deals have been made in some of those discussions, but they refuse to meet with us, and begs the question, what in the world are they hiding? And so I want to thank you, Mr. Cooper, for your courage and your willingness to be here with us today and to provide some answers. It means a great deal to us. Did Secretary Clinton at any time have more than one device?
I don't recall specifically her having more than one email device, though I have come to learn that at some point she had some iPad devices that she may have used simultaneously with the BlackBerries.
So there is a possibility she had more than one device at a time?
It's possible.
You have referred to yourself many times as not being an IT expert. At any time, did you consult cybersecurity experts when you were setting up her initial server?
The initial server, we consulted with Apple and their business solutions program to set up that server. And, of course, later we consulted with Mr. Pagliano for those purposes. Okay.
And from any department or agency in the government, did you consult with at all?
No consultations of that type.
Okay. When you referred earlier to some of the hacks that were taking place, the brute force and so forth, with some degree of regularity, did you report those hacks or potential hacks to the FBI or Secret Service or any other agency?
As I mentioned earlier, when we first experienced some of the repeated failed login attempts, I reported them to the Secret Service.
Okay. Did any of the, do you know if anything was done when it was reported? Did they come to investigate or search anything out?
The Secret Service reviewed some of the logs from the server and made some recommendations to Mr. Pagliano about the possible origins of those failed logins and some techniques he might use to mitigate that problem.
Did any of the, be it agencies or other cyber security experts, express any concern over this being a private server or use of private emails?
Not directly to me.
So even when they came and did some investigation and some research, that question was never brought up to you?
Correct.
How does BleachBit work? Are you familiar with that?
I'm not familiar with that.
Well, it seems to me, Mr. Chairman and Mr. Cooper and everyone in this room, and everyone in the country for that matter, I mean, we know how absolutely dangerous it is, the potential dangers of information getting in the hands of our adversaries. And you've related that that possibility exists dramatically. In fact, Director Comey was right when he said that, I thought he was being very polite when he said this is extremely careless, what has taken place. And unfortunately, Mr. Cooper, you're right in the middle of that. As the chairman brought up a while ago, we have nations coming after us, and here you are standing up as a defense to try to keep security from being leaked out to professionals and countries. And the words of Director Comey have to be directed to you as well. This has been extremely careless, what's taken place. And your handling, frankly, of the IT infrastructure, even in the midst of admittedly not being an expert in this field, to me shows absolute disregard for our national security. And, Mr. Chairman, I'm grateful for your continued commitment to pursue and to try to get to this, and those who refuse to answer our questions and plead the Fifth. to protect their own hide as opposed to protecting our national security, again, is shameful. But I thank you for pursuing this, Mr. Chairman, and I yield back.